Well, let's move to the south coast of Natal now, where a policeman has been found buried in a shallow grave. For the latest, we're joined on the line by our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo. Good afternoon, Ayanda, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
Good afternoon to you, Tiffany.
Look, it is indeed a gruesome find this morning. What can you tell us so far, Ayanda?
Well, absolutely, yes. Police have made that gruesome discovery of a body of the man. We strongly believe occasionally to be the police officer, Ayanda Mhlongo, who went missing about 2 weeks ago, I beg your pardon, and police and his family have been an intensive search around the city trying to find him, and there's obviously been an ongoing investigation that was being led by local Durban police to try and locate the officer. Since the discovery of the body that we understand was in a bad state of decomposition, the investigation has now been handed over to the Hawks. Earlier on during the day, we did go to the victim's family just to meet them. Unfortunately, he lives with his mother, who was rather distraught, and the police, and together with some family members who were there, have said that the family has not yet had the opportunity to go and identify the body that was found, but the possibility from the police and some of the items that they found on the man out in the south coast is that they believe to be that of Ayanda Mhlongo. We did speak to the provincial spokesperson, Captain Tulani Zwane, and of course the police saying that they are really concerned about police killings. As you also would have known in our reports last week, that this is now the second police officer to have been killed in just about a week and a half or so. There was another female cop officer that was killed during an armed robbery, and she is going to be laid to rest this Saturday. So even just before she is laid to rest, we're finding another police officer having been murdered in a gruesome way. So they are sending a strong message and urging the public to come forward and please assist them. Both investigations are still ongoing in relation to the female officer and, of course, now in relation to Nganiso's murder. But a task team has been put together. They are investigating. We do know that the police have gone back to the scene today, and as well the family is expected to also go down to the scene. At the moment, currently, we have just been updated just before coming on air that the family is now making its way to the state mortuary down at Scottsboro to identify the body, but we do believe that sadly it is that of a constable Ayanda Mhlongo.
Ayanda, where exactly are you on the south coast? Can you give us a brief description of the community and the living conditions of people here?
Well, the area on South Coast, I must say, is that it's a very deserted area, very far away from any homes or homesteads. It's a dense area. There was a tree, and the body was then discovered in a shallow grave under that tree. So it was really distant. In fact, the nearest village didn't even know that there was such incidents. I believe that those who are behind this murder probably just chose the spot because it is isolated and would have probably thought that nobody would have been able to come across the body. But it was very far from any village. And in fact, the villagers there didn't even know. They just saw police cars going by in discussions with them. He's got no relation, no relatives in that area. So they knew very little about what was happening. They didn't know that, of course, that there was a police officer. He had been in the media, in newspapers after he was reported missing. But no one has any connection to the police officer.
Ayanda, you've been speaking to the victim's family. When last did they see him?
They last saw him, his mother last saw him 2 weeks ago when he went missing. I understand that he was supposed to, was just about to go to work, was going to do the night shift, and basically then he left, and they had since then were not unable to get hold of him. They tried him on a cell phone, and of course the cell phone had been switched off. So his mother is saying that, of course, she's extremely distraught. She saw her son, hoping that she was going to see him in the morning. When he came back, she did say that he was the breadwinner, was responsible for the home, and that without him, really, her life is she doesn't know really what to do. from now on. He was her pillar of strength. He was her everything. So the family is really, really in shock. And I said, Kirsten, of course, the news is just coming to the extended family as well. So they were very, very distraught, and we couldn't really get a lot.
Thank you, Ayanda.
We had to, of course, respect that.
Thank you, Ayanda. We'll have to leave it there. That was our reporter, Ayanda Mhlongo, coming to us from the south coast of KwaZulu-Natal. Moving on to our